Sawadee Krap and welcome back to our third SKÅL International Talks Thailand. And thank you for the Samui SKÅL team, to do the broadcasting again today. We are really experiencing fundamental change in our industry, and we desperately need new ways of looking at our business and engaging our customers. Traditional OTA, online travel agent discounting, is declining, and all these discounts might lead in the future to quality, going down or not being maintained. SKÅL's commitment of bringing all the tourism operators together, connecting them, has created now a forum where SKÅL Talks will give you advice and a roadmap for a better future. While doing this, it is great to see or great to know that we have increased our membership in Thailand already by 50%. So thank you very much for putting your trust into us. So what have we been doing? We created Rediscover Thailand and Rediscover all the 6 destinations campaign in order to make sure, that we are not only selling our product, but we're also selling the destination. And we are very encouraged that many hotel companies and other destinations have actually picked up on our Rediscover campaign. And since we own actually the Rediscover hashtag, it always benefits our members. Today we are celebrating Samui Plus. So our island and our friends in Samui and adjoining islands, etc., have now opened their doors and their airport to international tourism, which is a great encouragement, and SKÅL played a major role in facilitating this. So what are we going to do today? Today, let us focus on getting more business by finding more customers. And the old traditional way of finding a customer means you have to knock at the door and you have to make a sales call and you have a sales force. Well, we ain't got any money for sales forces right now. So today, imagine that SKÅL International is paving the way to increase your sales force without having a payroll. What that means, you will discover in a moment. And when you listen to this, maybe this is a perfect time to actually join SKÅL. And at this moment, we have a 50% concession available, for the remainder of the year for you to join if you are not a member yet. So now, finally, I am inviting you to be motivated by our expert panel, how to manage the pandemic successfully and together, because together is very important. And now I'm inviting our charming moderator, Lynn, to lead us through the program. Thank you very much for your attention.
Wolfgang, thank you so much for your great introduction and for your continued support for our initiative. So, colleagues, friends and supporters around Thailand, we welcome to part 3 of our webinar series, Tourism Recovery Strategies 2021. And I'm coming to you live from Samui, of course, and from the fabulous Prana Resort, which has been a great supporter of ours over the last couple of sessions. As Wolfgang said, my name is Lynn Grebstad, and I'm currently co-director with Susan Field of the PR marketing team here with SKÅL Samui, and also part of the SKÅL International Thailand PR and Communications team. I think, as all SKÅL members know, part of our vision is to be a trusted voice in travel and tourism, and our objective tonight, as with all future talks, is to use that collective voice, bringing our members together virtually to share relevant, timely and critical information, as well as best practices to get us out of this crisis. So today's presentation takes a fresh look at booking channels, OTAs, B2Bs, wholesalers, and much more. And importantly, how to ensure your hotel is ready to maximize on bookings in these challenging and competitive times. So I would ask you to join me and welcome our panel today, 3 industry whizzes who will be sharing their invaluable knowledge and insights with you. So first of all, let me introduce Kevin Rautenbach, who is the VP of SKÅL International Thailand and a veteran hospitality technology expert. He's here with Bjorn Harvold, Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of ICO Travel, an online platform to help build hotels and distribute and regain control over their online inventory. And finally, Jan Guriu, founder and CEO of Unicorn Hotels and Resorts and co-founder of Eco Travel. Before we hand over to the panel, just a few housekeeping notes. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on our website straight after the session. We've also asked our members to send in questions. A few have done so. But if you do have one during the webinar, please add it to the Q&A section at the bottom of the screen, and the panel will do their best to answer them. So I'm sure, like yourself, I'm looking forward to learning something new today, new and exciting, to help with our business. And so I'm going to hand you over to Kevin, Bjorn, and Jan. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Is everyone seeing my screen? Yeah, very good. So nice to see everyone here. Nice to meet you. And thank you, SKÅL, for hosting us. I'm very excited to be discussing this very interesting matter. I think we already introduced ourselves. Thank you, Lynn. So just to go quickly again on this, Bjorn is a technology architect, engineer. He's been building the platform for the last 5 years. It's a huge platform. I will come back to this point in a minute. Kevin, I think a lot of you knows him, a lot of experience in Thailand, and we are glad to be partnering with him on this new venture. And myself, both having two hats, one side as a hotel management company, chief executive officer, and as well, venturing myself into technology and online distribution. Today's agenda, just a quick thought before I begin. The COVID-19 pandemic is resetting the travel industry, and new agile and innovative companies are going to emerge out of it. It's like when the asteroid wiped out the dinosaurs and allowed new species to emerge. I think post-COVID will be a very interesting time. For today's session, I'll start by discussing the major pain point of the industry. Kevin will take over to discuss the distribution landscape that is currently available to us. And then Bjorn finally will share his vision and our vision on a new approach to online distribution. The consolidation of large OTAs in 3 main conglomerates has led to an oligopoly that keep driving commission higher. Because of the lack of innovation in the distribution model, their market share continue to increase and to put hotel into an unhealthy dependency type of relationship. Consolidation creates silos, resulting in data concentration to which the hotel has no access to. We usually refer to this as the loss of customer ownership. Hotels, especially independent hotels, compete against giant conglomerate for eyeball on Google. Although we have seen a global increase in direct booking during the pandemic due to staycation or the fact that consumers feel safer to book directly with the hotel in case of cancellation, we don't know if this trend will continue during the travel recovery period. And depending on how the OTA bounce back, let's see what happens. Another factor is that distributor force suppliers or hotels, or at least in Thailand, some countries have ruled out this rate parity into pricing rules, rules that they don't even follow themselves. In their fierce battle against each other, and they undercut each other to the detriment of the hotels, as always. Very few industries face such a fragmentation. First, your tech layer is very fragmented, making data difficult to consolidate between systems. Secondly, distribution. You are not 100% in control. Your inventory can very well end up being sold at an unknown rate to somewhere on the web without you knowing. And it takes a lot of work for your e-commerce team to backtrack and make fake booking to find out the source of that booking. So we almost have to set up like rate parity manager position in our management company or hotel. It's becoming insane. Paying each other in the travel industry is simply not up to the game. It's expensive, slow and very inefficient. I still can't believe that in 2021, we still have to do manual transfer or write checks and get the GM to sign a few times. Don't get me even started on chasing a travel agent located in the Midwest to chase him for a payment. I believe that distributor and reseller should not be allowed to hold onto your money or our money for more than a few days after the guest checkout. Now we can clearly see that the current model is not working anymore and is not to the advantage of the supplier because it's simply built on legacy system and it's difficult to get out, So now I will hand over to Kevin, who will discuss the current landscape distribution and what's available for you to utilize. Kevin, up to you.
Thanks, Jan. Thanks very much, Jan. Yes, so as Jan was just saying about the silo effects and what all the pain points. So if we have a look now at our current distribution, I think you can clearly see that there's a lot of issues with our current distribution platforms. As we said before, and as we still continue to say, distribution as we know it is broken. We really need to find new ways to do it. So if we look at our existing platforms that we're using, it's B2Bs, it's OTAs, it's Google with Google Hotels, Google Hotel Ads, Meta Search partners, affiliates, your own booking engine through your IBE on your own website, social media, GDS. Those are the normal ones that we're all used to. All of them, of course, have their own pain points. And as we know that there's big changes coming, changes are imminent. But in a post-COVID world, we have to adapt and modify what we're doing. We cannot go back to the old ways of relying on these existing distribution channels because things have changed. Moving forward, of course, we have to work as of tomorrow, as of today, with what we have right now. So we need to restart all of our systems, our platforms, kickstart them, get them going, because we need to get bookings. Of course, those hotels that were fortunate enough to be able to maintain their channel management systems over the last 18 months, they're in a slightly better position. But when it comes to hotels that shut down their systems, how are they going to restart them? I see a number of pain points coming up. Your staff have left, you've had a high turnover of employees. Who has access to these systems? And even if you have access, how long have they been sitting dormant? You're going to have to now go and restart them, try and get access, restart, refresh passwords because everything's expired. So it's going to be a lot of pain coming up for you guys as you restart all of your programs, affiliate programs, meta search, etc. So as we said, the current distribution as we know it is completely broken. We can't rely on the OTAs, whether it be B2C or B2B. They manipulate the prices, they drive down your profitability. Google Hotels are just taking their fair share of your profits. Meta search, affiliate programs, they all costing you money. IBE, which is obviously your cheapest channel, not a free channel, of course, your cheapest channel, unfortunately suffers from one of the lowest points of conversion, if you look at all of them. Social media, which is great, but how do you really track that? How can you really record your ROI on your social media? And of course, we have GDS, Global Distribution System. It's been around for many, many years. Not so relevant in our part of the world. Maybe in North America, Europe, it's still relevant. But if you look at your GDS platforms in Asia, certainly in Thailand, where we're located, very few hotels will benefit from it. Maybe a couple of corporate hotels sitting in Bangkok, but certainly the resorts and the islands in the south of Thailand, it's of no use to us. So this is where we're sitting at the moment. This is our current distribution. Now, I've got the hardest part of this conversation today, I think, because I'm talking about all the boring stuff. What do we have? What do we know? And all the ones that are broken. So hopefully Bjorn, when Bjorn comes on in a minute, he'll be able to excite us and talk about what is the future? Where are we moving with this? And what can we expect in the future? So without laboring on too much, where are we going to go forward with this? So let me hand over to Bjorn, who is our technology officer, and he'll be able to explain to you where we're going in the exciting future. Bjorn, over to you.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm the only one with a non-fancy background. So nice to meet you all. Jan and Kevin gave a brief overview of what everyone in the hotel industry is dealing with right now. Kevin, I don't know if you want to, maybe we take this on the QA, but you know, there are ways to use the existing booking OTAs, online travel agencies, in a better way, using what you have better right now, and we can maybe talk about that in the QA.
Sure.
Yeah, perfect. So what we want to get into and that we're really excited about is, okay, what can we do to solve hotels' problem in the future and going forward? Because I think if we solve the problems for the hotels, we actually solve the entire downstream problem of the quality of the product suffering to the end user, right? Everyone makes more money, traveler is happier, right? So this is a conversation that we had, Jan and I, we had a very, very long time ago. Jan and I, we met when he was executive GM at a hotel, very nice hotel down in Phuket. We came in very briefly, we said, what can we do to an industry where there's almost no more money to be made for the hotel, even though you have a full house, but there's no margin left over to pay the maid, you know? And I heard about the industry the first time then, and I was like, wow, I had no idea. And actually most travelers have no idea how much commission goes to the large OTAs. That's one place that money is sinking into. But then you have to know that a lot of money from the OTAs go also to Google Travel and Google through AdWords. So there's a lot of money being spent for consumer eyeballs through Google's space in internet and in internet land, right? So everyone is struggling actually. We're thinking, oh my God, Booking.com is making so much money. Yes, they are, but also they're giving 40% of their digital revenue over to Google. So the end guy here is Google. It's making a killing on travel. And this is how we started a long time ago. And we said, so we're going back to the present, and what we've come up with is something that I would like for you to consider how something like this would work for your hotel. Because we have been we've had lots of roundtable discussions with hotels, hotel chains, brands around the world about how would they like to sell their inventory online. And I think it starts with the fact that right now you have very limited ways of getting to be seen, right? So I think that's the biggest hurdle. And those two places, the major OTAs, have made it so that they have made hotels into frenemies, so to speak, where you guys are slowly killing yourself by bidding on better placements. Okay, so that is a big issue. So the first thing that we wanted to solve here was, how can we get more eyeballs to every hotel? And that actually starts not with the consumer, it actually starts with the hotel. So we thought, well, the first thing that we wanted to do is we need to let the hotel sell more than the lowest common denominator inventory. A usual path for a hotel would be, okay, I'm going to start selling online, and what do? Well, I have this channel manager X, and I want to get it out on all the OTAs, and click a button and do that. So now you end up with the same rooms on all online travel agencies, and that's it. So in essence, you've done, it's the same product with the same OTA enemies, and they're now competing to sell your product, that one specific product that you have, to their customers, right? So what's the lack right there that we discovered was differentiation, right? A way that we can also discuss later is one way to use online travel agencies more effectively, the ones that you have connection to right now, is just start selling different inventory. Start avoiding rate parity issues completely by selling different inventory, right? And then it comes to you know, asking yourself, how can I sell differently? You start to find out the limitation on the platform that you're working with. It's like, oh my God, I can only sell a room type, for example. And you go, oh, okay, that kind of sucks. What else can I do? And you start looking at ancillaries, you start looking at add-ons, and it's very, very limited. And you also don't want to start paying the online travel agencies commission on top of anything that's not a room type. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place where you go, I really want to sell all of this, but also I don't want to pay 40% commission on all of this. Let's leave it at 40 for now, okay? I like the number 40. So you're like, okay, I'm going to end up just selling my room type. So for the current OTAs, okay, you can just sell room types, but sell them differently on different owned OTAs. So you avoid rate parity issues, because that just eats into your time, you know, your quality of life, basically. So back again to quality and in type of inventory that you want to sell. So we said, okay, in order to make hotels more interesting to travelers, how we need to let them sell more. So we spent a very, very long time creating a platform where you can basically sell anything that's not bolted down, right? That was very, very important. So room types is your beginning. That's your entry journey. But making you know, restaurant reservation, meeting room reservation, spa appointments, experiences, packages, add-ons. It's all there for you to really define who you are as a property, and not just on the property, but off premises as well. And we can talk about this a little bit later. But it's a way to make your landscape, where you are, more exciting to the traveler who's coming there. Okay, so great. Now you have a place where you have a lot of stuff that you can sell, anything really. And you go, okay, but now how do I get out to users? And we said, okay, what's the best way of doing this? And we looked at, you know, all the traditional way that travel tech companies are working right now. And it's, you know, again, it's very fragmented technologically. So the integrations that you would have to do with large travel agencies, et cetera, to try and get more direct access to the end user would also be a lot of work. And then we thought, wait, we are actually in the 21st century. And if you've seen what is happening in real life right now, for example, no one watches TV anymore. Everyone watches Netflix or YouTube or anything else out there. And it's changed, for example, the TV industry upside down. Taxi monopolies in New York have been ravaged by Uber, Grab, Gojek, all these kind of guys. So it's really been a social sharing revolution, which is, I would like to call the people before me have called this the third industrial revolution, right? And we said, well, how about we leveraged new technology, the up and coming, where all the millennials are going to, and get them to see what you have to sell, where they go, right? So we said, okay, we're gonna create a way for anyone who is savvy enough to go online to be able to sell hotel inventory, right? And anyone from someone who has only an Instagram account or a Facebook account, will let them share links directly to your property or directly to the specific inventory that you want to showcase. For someone who's a travel blogger who wants to make a living on their blog, and they're really, really passionate about this because they love to travel, they go, wow, I can embed all this inventory that I get from this platform. I can embed it into my website and I can sell it right there and I can earn a commission on it. So you have passionate influencers with a huge audience. You have passionate bloggers with usually a large audience, because this is where travelers go to see where that location is, if it's worth visiting and what to see, right? But it doesn't stop there. We also have a way to integrate with anyone, an existing travel company, a new online travel agency, anyone who would like to get access to new and better quality inventory, not just the lowest common denominator room type. I like to call it the room type of toilet paper. So what you see here is a quick overview of what our platform allows you to do. It's a little bit technical, so we're not going to go into detail of what this is. But in a nutshell, you now have a sales force, basically, of potentially millions of people selling your specific inventory, and you can give them promotions, deals, discounts, whatever you would like to do with that particular channel, and you can track every channel and see how well they're doing. Contact that channel and say, listen, would you like to sell for us? And so instead of having now what we have currently, 2 large unregulated monopolies, you suddenly have millions of entities who have access to your inventory. It can sell it to their trusted audience. Their audience really trusts what the influencers or what the bloggers have to say. So it's no longer about who has that $1 cheaper on the large online travel agencies. It's more like who has the bigger experience, right? And suddenly it becomes the seller and the traveler gets already have a trusted connection. So it's like, oh wow, I trust this guy. He's been to Thailand. He's been here, here, and here. He has bespoke custom deals for all these places that he was at while he was there. I'm just going to recreate whatever he did, right? So you suddenly have a workforce working for you instead of just 2 large companies fighting against each other and letting you lose, basically, without a chance to win, right? This is what's happening more and more. And what's going to happen in the future is Google is taking over and we're all going to be slaves to Google, which we kind of are already, but let's not go there. So you now have, let's say, 1 million sales channels selling for you. You have ultimate control over your inventory. Prices can be unique per sales channel or per segment. Like, for example, I want to give all bloggers 10%. I want to give all influencers 5%. And then we go from there, and I can give custom deals later on. And then the final piece of this is, and I know it's a headache for pretty much all of you, and that's payment, right? How to get paid, because currently in the current industry, virtual credit card is king. Every hotel automatically uses 2%. The online travel agencies are making millions on these virtual credit card, the rebate schemes that they're giving off to the online travel agencies. They're making millions off of giving away virtual credit cards. And the final part is, sorry, one thing that I want to cover here. So virtual credit cards is the main way. Invoicing online travel agencies is another way, and hunting the dollars that way. And the final way is waiting for a really, really long time for OTAs to give you a bank transfer. So they will wait up until 90 days, some of them, in order for the amount to become high enough for you to actually, for it to make sense to send a bank transfer. So the last piece of the puzzle that we're solving here is we're creating slowly but surely, starting actually in Europe and the US, but moving very quickly to Asia, a bank specifically for the travel industry. So we're working with some very, very big players, and that will solve payments specifically for hotels. That allows for millions of sellers. It allows for you to get paid safely and securely. It allows for a lot of savings also in just doing accounting. You just get paid, or you choose when you want to get paid. You'll basically get a travel bank account, and everyone that you integrate with, any online travel agency that you want to do business with, you should tell them, hey, connect with a travel bank. I want to get paid one way and not 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different ways. And everyone will save as the travel bank grows and volume increases. So that's something we're really, really excited about. So just in a nutshell, to recap, I've been talking straight for 20 minutes. Sorry about this. It's literally, we give you a way to sell all kinds of inventory over here. We give you access to sell through millions of sales channels. And finally, we centralize the point again in payment, where all sellers, all affiliates, all hotels, all online travel agencies get paid in one efficient, quick way. I think that's everything that I want to cover today, guys.
Well, thank you, Bjorn. I think, you know, to summarize in some sort for everyone, Bjorn referred to bloggers, and I think something very new for hotels is that with this system, you are able also to track return on investment for social influencer that you potentially invite to your properties. That's something that is unique to what we are developing. So technically and put simply, we are connecting you individually with any person who's interested to sell your property. And like we said, I mean, we are working with a big platform out of Spain called gayhotel.com. Obviously, they focus on the LGBT market. They curate properties in destination and then curate them in our system. And then they display the curated inventory on their front end through their consumer, to their audience. We work also with closed group. So we started integration with a company here in Bangkok called Amity. They're a tech company with about 250 employees. So those employees will have access to inventory that is available on our platform through the employee extranet. So in this case, you have no issue with rate parity because it's a private group or closed group, we call. We're gonna try to connect with bigger companies like AIA or global firms. It's considered as employee benefit kind of system. Then we have destination sites. We could take, for example, Bali Bible. I mean, it's not Phuket.com or PhuketHotel.com or any destination site that sells hotel in Krabi or in Samui or anywhere. They can use our systems as well. We are talking to a startup company, group planning apps that do like, you know, collaborative trip planning. We're talking to veganhotels.com. If some of you guys are promoting vegan lifestyle, obviously we're going to get into the wellness and connect with some wellness app or destination sites. We can also connect to corporate directly. You can offer your corporate rates to certain companies that we will connect to. I mean, it's pretty much endless. We are in the early stage of our development. I mean, the product is complete. Now what we are doing is onboarding more hotels. So, you know, it's the chicken and the egg situation. We need a lot of choice for integrator or partner to be willing to connect to us so they can sell our inventory to their audience. So on one side, we need to onboard hotels, and we hope to, you know, find some excited hotels to join us. And then on the other side, we are looking into contacting all those individual businesses, influencers, and bloggers that we will be also using. So it's a combination of a traditional channel plus new channels that you could expect, like social media influencer. That is something new, as I was mentioning. So it's very simple. One extranet. You guys register your profile. We have some team support that can help hotels set up. Connect your channel manager, and you're ready to go. Just to give you an idea, I use TravelClick. Sorry to name them, for my management company. It takes me about 62 pages Word document, plus another 2 to 3 weeks for them to put my hotel live on, you know, the CRS. Without them, you need 45 minutes to set up your hotel and go live, roughly. So it's very self-onboarding. We thought about self-onboarding, of course. E-commerce manager with a bit more experiences will feel more comfortable, but we've tried to work a system that is user-friendly. And the objective is for hotel to auto-manage their profile, and they don't need a market manager. They don't need to beg to join a campaign. They can create their own. So it's really like trying to get out of what has been done so far, which is the big, large conglomerate. They breastfeed the staff. They become dependent, and they can't do anything by themselves anymore. Even changing the username or the password, they have to ask the market manager. So we are shifting completely away from that and giving the keys to the extranet, to the hotel and the e-commerce and revenue team, so that they can manage their profile and and make use of all those new channels and ways to organize and connect with different sellers. And so something very exciting for us is we allow you to create one customized relationship with anyone on the platform. So that's what we wanted to introduce, and thinking that this is a new approach to online distribution. Hopefully you guys have some questions. We are ready to answer. Maybe Lynn or Taimi have some question to start with. So I hand over back to Lynn. Thank you everyone for listening.
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen. Well, a lot of information to take in a very short space of time. And, you know, I think the whole thing that Kevin brought up, basically how can we better be using the current systems? I think that's a priority, but obviously also this whole new approach for companies. I mean, I think there's a lot of information. I think if people want to know more about this, they're going to have to get in touch with you to get to the bottom of it. Just off the top of my head, I just had a question. You know, when you're talking about, you know, millions of sales channels, I mean, how does a hotel customize their inventory, and how do you monitor all this coming in, or your bookings, hopefully? Or, I mean, it sounds incredibly labor intensive.
No, it's not. The system is connected to the channel manager. So when a booking comes in, if the hotel has a two-way interface with their channel manager, the booking goes directly into their PMS. They can also see the booking in the platform, but technically they are able to see it through their channel manager. So there is no real change for the hotel. They already know how to manage an extranet. I mean, to be honest with you, our extranet is way more comprehensive than the others, because you can create your restaurant profile, your spa profile, your meeting rooms, create activities, create package add-ons, experiences. I mean, you know, but you don't have to do everything. I mean, it depends. You can be a guest house and just say, okay, I'm going to put my 5 rooms and then I will create experiences only because I like my customer to go on a kayak trip in the Phang Nga Bay, or, you know, whatever the case is. So the extranet is very flexible in a way that it looks like a bit like a LinkedIn profile. You can see the completion of the profile, but we know very well that not every accommodation has a spa, meeting rooms, restaurant. Yeah. It's very easy. I mean, especially for e-commerce people who are very used to extranet and setting a profile. I mean, the problem with the current distribution is that you cannot keep managing 50 extranets. You know, we have enough problems to solve on a daily basis, but if you have to go on to 50 extranet every day to update your promotion, it becomes quickly a problem. Especially for an independent hotel that has one e-commerce staff and one reservation staff. How do you manage 50 extranets? So our solution is to offer one extranet. We want to connect to as many partners as we can directly, and from that one single extranet, the hotel can push promotions and anything to those partners that are connected to us. So it's a one-stop shop. And of course, there is other features, but we will not discuss them here. But it's a one-stop shop extranet that allow hotel trying to, you know, I mentioned one extranet to rule them all. And because right now, if you want to push a promotion on booking.com, you have to go and log in on extranet booking.com and create a promotion there. Then you want to do it on Ctrip, you have to do that. And then on Agoda, and then on, you know, Travelocity or whatever, Orbitz, and so on and so forth. So it becomes extremely labor intensive.
I like the sound of a one-stop shop. Yes, we have a question here from Baz Van Straten for Kevin. Where do you see TripAdvisor in this marketplace with their renewed approach of TripAdvisor loyalty members, offering special discounts, inclusions, etc.? Kevin.
Well, we see TripAdvisor as just another channel. So yes, they're offering their new program for discounts for members. It's just another channel.
Hey, now it's a subscription model.
Yeah.
You subscribe to TripAdvisor, you get extra deal. But why would a consumer have to pay to get extra deal? You know, It's because those companies enforcing a rate parity that has no standing. Why would a supplier not be allowed to sell cheaper on his own website, for God's sake? Sorry for my French. It's one of the few industries where the supplier is not in charge.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we've got another question here. Can you tell us a little about the cost models for hotels? How is it different from the OTAs?
You think that? Thank you, Philip, for the question.
It's not from Philip, it's from somebody else. Philip's the next one.
So could you repeat the question, Lynn?
Okay, can you tell us a little about the cost model for hotels?
Okay.
How does this differ from the OTAs?
All right, I will take that on. So first and very important point is that the hotel can choose the commission they want to pay a certain partner. So the hotel decide. The partner can say, I will only take 10%, or 20, but if the hotel do not want to give that, he can simply deactivate that channel. Or hotel decide what commission they want to pay for that specific channel. Hotel is 100% in control of the inventory they distribute. Am I answering the question?
Okay.
Well, wait, can we actually discuss that was the commission model with all the type of sellers and affiliates, Jan. Our own pricing model might be what he's asking for.
Sorry, yes, absolutely. So we basically, from the rate, that the total rate, so to speak, let's say use an example of $100, the payment system will deduct what we call the pay-in fee or the acquiring fee for the credit card. So we will deduct this from the total amount. Then we charge the platform fee, which is 1.5%. And then we calculate the commission. So if it's 10%, for example, and then those subtotal are disbursed to the hotel and the reseller. So the hotel will get the rate minus the paying fee minus the 1.5% platform fee and the 10% commission for the reseller. And the funds will become available 5 days after checkout. And at that time, both the reseller and the hotel can withdraw the funds from the virtual account. Hotel can also decide to hold on to the funds to have a bigger amount to withdraw. So there's a lot of factors that come into this equation. And we are still working hard. I mean, Bjorn is negotiating hard with different payment companies. And as you know, payment is a bigger pain in the ass than travel distribution is actually. It's even more fragmented. It's a mess. But we estimate that the booking cost all the way to your local bank account will be, if you pay a commission of 10% to the reseller, total booking cost will be, depending on where the credit card is from and where your hotel is located, between 14 and 17%. But when we improve our payment relationship or system, or when new solution comes, those savings will be reflected to the hotel and to the reseller. So if you compare, let's say like right now you pay 20% with booking.com, and then you still have to, send them a wire transfer to pay their commission. So you pay 20% com plus an extra, okay, it's a local transfer, but you have to charge the credit card in some case. So you will have in Thailand about 3% extra cost. So it becomes 23% plus the transfer cost that you have to do to booking.com and all the admin work that you have, which is account receivable, account payable, and so on. So we are looking at a net booking cost between 14 and 17%. Again, it's a marketing thing. We could talk to hotel and see what they prefer. Do you want a fixed percentage, or you like to have a dynamic percentage that is reflect the actual payment cost or the credit card acquiring and disbursement?
Okay.
It could be interesting.
Should we move on to home? Okay.
14, to answer the question.
Okay. Right. Do you want to do? Can we do? I'd like to do one here from Philip Schetz, Cube Thinking. Do you think that from a customer perspective, the distribution channel network has changed with the pandemic? If so, what does an independent hotel without your solution need to focus on to stay afloat?
Kevin, you want to take that or?
Yeah, I definitely the network has changed since the pandemic. So it's a property that doesn't use a new modern platform will just be stuck with the same old OTA, charging them minimum 25-30% for the local players like Agoda, 20% for Booking.com, plus then all the credit card fees that you pay on top of the charges for booking. So yes, I mean, what do they do to stay afloat? It really is just the same old. Nothing has changed for them. So unless they're willing to look at new opportunities, they're going to be stuck just what they're doing exactly the same thing as they were doing 18 months ago, with their profits, their profit margins dwindling.
I mean, the subject of today's discussion is new channels, and I think what has been done in the industry so far, and every new most tech company, I mean, I look at it very objectively for my hotel management company. Any new solution that comes in is actually another middleware that is plugging himself on the existing pipe. So they don't really add value. Yes, you could get data from them, or you can get price comparison, or you can get, but when you talk about distribution channel, there is nothing new. So Kevin listed those channels that are up there. Yes, we could have included TripAdvisor, but we consider them as a meta search in a way. There is no new channel. So because the industry or the legacy system have no interest in new channel. It's like the banking system has no interest in having the blockchain. I mean, so they do, but having a new system because they will lose so much money. So it's because it's built on legacy system, going out of it is quite tricky. And that's why I think, I mean, the hotel needs to focus on new or diversifying their distribution, diversifying and exploring new solution to expose your inventory to a new audience. It cannot harm, it's a CPA model in a way. So you pay when you acquire a booking, there is no risk. At least from the hotel side, you have no cost. It's free to join the platform. It's free to put your room out there, and then you only pay when you get a booking. And when we look at the platform, you also maybe have heard in the past, we have a freemium product called travelico.com. So when you register on the platform, you can activate that channel and sell your room for free. It's a zero commission consumer site. If a booking comes in, bingo, full price. So we have 3 different products. One is this travelico.com. We have a booking engine, and we have this new channel that we are launching right now. Just to jump on the next question, which is there a list of channels we would be able to market through? For example, you said influencer. As the user, do you see the demographic of each channel? Yes. So in our system, you will see the different partners, and you will see a profile, and you can decide to deactivate the channel if you don't want to sell to that channel. And you will see the profile, the number of, if it's an influencer, how many followers, who they are, what do they do, and so on and so forth. Of course, influencers is a very vague term, but we're going to focus on travel influencers, obviously. But this is coming with influencers. We are focusing right now on enterprise level kind of relationship, like gehotel.com, the closed group with certain companies. Influencers are coming a little bit later in the year.
Okay, I've got another question here. And where do you think the opportunity is for hotel operators in Thailand? Domestic, international, which markets and segments?
Well, of course, once our borders open, it will be international. Right now, we have to focus, of course, other than Samui and Phuket, the rest of Thailand has to focus on domestic. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the influencer side or destination portals, the world is our oyster. There's nothing stopping us marketing to anyone, anywhere around the world. And the beautiful thing is that we have, you can connect to literally thousands of people from one platform.
And another interesting, like if you look from a domestic perspective, since the word was mentioned, and take a hotel in Khao Yai, which is purely domestic. I mean, they get very few tourists from overseas going there, maybe some Japanese and Korean to play golf, but those hotels mostly, and even the expat community goes to Khao Yai, but not so much. They rather go to Wine and Pattaya. So it's really domestic. And we know that the Thai market is very sensitive to social influencers and social media. So let's say you are Mutimaya in Khao Yai, which is a pool villa type of resort, and you want to invite a social influencer, and you say, I'm going to spend 30K to bring that person over, give her a 3-night stay, food, activity, and whatsoever. But before I do that, I'm going to ask that person to register on IKO Travel, so that I can actually quantify my investment, because I will know if that person has produced booking. So I think it's Bjorn, or I'm not sure, Kevin says it's in the hand of hotel. We build the platform, we build the tool, but it's the hotel to make use of it. Of course, you will be able to connect to influencer on our platform, but we might not be connected to the influencer that is from, I don't know, the Thai ISO golf player that you want to bring to Khao Yai. You know what I mean? The hotel can reach out and say, hey, I'm okay to spend and bring you over, but I want to be able to have an ROI on my investment. So please register here. And whenever you post after the stay, make sure to embed the link so we can track your productivity.
Very interesting. We've got another question here from Colin Baker, villa owner here in Samui. Is anyone aware of any platforms either able to now or planning to facilitate payments by digital cryptocurrencies to reduce transaction fees and speed up payments?
No, that's for you, my friend.
I see Bjorn smiling.
So that's a great question. The answer is no, Colin. We actually, our platform supports cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, but we tried to do something bigger before, and we've been researching this industry a lot, but there is, out of thousands of hotels, there might be one like you who's interested in accepting crypto. So if you want to go down that road, there's no one, definitely not in the hotel space, that supports it, but you could say, I want to do it by myself, and give them that option through your booking engine. But there's no major platform except for ours on the B2B side. And then you have, consumer online travel agencies like Travel by Bit, Travala, who actually let customers pay with cryptos. But there's no refundable, pretty strict cancellation policies, that kind of stuff, because the money is not going back. And they source their rates from, they don't have their own rates. They source their rates from hotel beds or cloud beds or something like that. So those are the companies that I know support cryptos.
Yeah, and there is something that needs to be said as well, is like a lot of buzz has been made around travel company that will use the blockchain to centralize inventory and all that. Well, we looked into it a lot, and we came to the conclusion that you don't need blockchain to decentralize travel. Yes, you can use blockchain to decentralize the payment aspect or the transaction itself, but not for database query. If I were to do a search on a booking engine that is on the blockchain, it will take forever to get results. And it's not meant for data query. So we decided to completely skip blockchain, do a really good extranet with on a regular database. Now, we don't exclude that at some point we will plug a loyalty program on the blockchain on top of the platform, or even if one day payment can be solved through blockchain, we don't exclude it. But at the moment, we don't believe that it's going to add a lot of value to the existing solution. So all those websites that are claiming that they do something about blockchain, they actually just accept payments. And then they pay Booking.com or their inventory provider, because those website, they don't have an extranet, they don't own the data, so they buy from aggregator, so they accept the cryptos, and because they have a large cash flow because they did some ICO, they just pay booking.com or web hotel bed with hard cash and keep the crypto for themselves, and they do a rolling cash flow story, but they don't use blockchain for travel. They just accept payment in crypto. There's a very big difference. Don't you guys get trapped into this rhetoric?
I just have a question before we basically wind this up. I just wondered, I mean, your existing clients, what has been the feedback from your clients?
So as mentioned, we have started different product. We have our booking engine that hotel can already embed on their website. We have the travelico.com, which is our consumer facing site. And we are launching as we speak now, the other platform. I mean, we call it ikeo.direct because it's a direct connection to your B2B partner. And we are now doing finalizing the first integration with gehotel.com. We doing some other work. So we, like I earlier mentioned, we launching this bigger platform at the end of the year.
Okay, thank you. Well, before we close, can I throw open the panel with any closing statements, please?
Well, I'd like to thank everyone. I mean, it's always interesting to discuss this topic. We are passionate about it. Thank you to James, to Yulin and Tammy, and Wolfgang as well, and to my colleague Kevin and Bjorn, and all the attendees. I put the address. You can reach out to Kevin. Oops, sorry. If you want to know more, or even to me directly, if you are interested. Very happy to get on the call and discuss this, what we do in more details, because we believe it's something interesting for all of you, and happy to answer any questions. So please get in touch, and we wish you all the best for the end of the year, and for those in Samui to Samui Plus, or I think Seed Plus, to go well. And we know it's been a tough year, or 18 months. But the end of the drama is coming. We can see the light.
Thank you. Before we go, Wolfgang, President, would just like to say a few words. Over to you, Wolfgang.
Yes, it was very enlightening to hear, right, of how we can broaden, right, our appeal, right, to in the market and get and motivate people to sell us. I would like to put one more item into the mix. When hotels are asking themselves the question, how can I differentiate myself? So beyond money and beyond discounts. And from experience, I can share that having a higher regard for resilient, right, and sustainable action within your operation could make a big difference differentiating yourself, right? And because we have a pandemic and there are many reasons for it, but to get out of it, we probably would need to spend a little bit more time on the environment and make sure that we are safeguarding our water, our oceans, our forests, and our food chain, right? And so in all of the things that we have been discussing, to be sympathetic to the environment costs very little, and the return is quite astounding. The reason why I'm saying this, I mean, I have an ecological resort in Krabi, and I know this firsthand. So to all of us in the industry, both operators, travel agents, and tour operators, please spend more time or have more concern, right, for the environment. Reusing things, recycling things, and redoing things, etc., is a great way forward for tourism. And Thailand actually has a great opportunity to maintain its green image in the world. So Thank you for inviting me today too. Congratulations for running the seminar so professionally, and then of course our travel partners who are offering new opportunities of distribution. Great news. So all in all, it is actually in our hands to do something about it. So I encourage you, do something about it today. Thank you.
Thank you, Wolfgang. And I think that's it. We'll have another webinar in 2 weeks' time, this time on behavior, changing consumer behavior, hosted by Philip Schetz and a panel. So I hope you'll tune in 2 weeks' time. Thank you, everyone. And thank you especially to Kevin, to Bjorn, and to Jan. Thank you for an excellent presentation, leaving many, many questions still to be answered. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.